All right, so those of you who get confused, I am actually live broadcasting myself. No, they don't see y'all, just me. I didn't share the link yet on Twitter. I'll share it later. It'll be up on YouTube later. That's a Hangout on Air. So fantastic things you can do with Hangouts. All right, so in case of all the other things I do, I am a doctoral candidate, and this is my research field. I just designed a 500 student, 20 faculty game being played right now at George Gwinnett College that I am assessing, and it is a nightmare, but it's still worth it, right? But it has given me this great understanding and knowledge of game-based learning, something of which I am passionate. And when I was a K-12 educator, I integrated game-based learning and gamification in a lot of what I did. So I'm going to run through this quickly, and my goal is to get the basis out to you, to share a couple of the different types so that you understand what this is, and then you can explore the rest of this slide deck. This is actually one, see, this is all official. I actually used this at a conference presentation, so you're getting that for free. Thank you, EdCamp. All right, I want to explain really quick the terminology for game-based learning. It is the use of games or the concepts of games in education. And I have an umbrella for a reason. Game-based learning is the umbrella name. So when someone says game-based learning, they're referencing all these things. You've heard of serious games. If not, that's the use of something like World of Warcraft in the classroom. That exists, and you're going to see the link in a little bit. Game designing, if you're into GameStar Mechanic, or Kodu, for example, all these links, everything I say, by the way, is hyperlinked in this entire presentation. You can go and explore it. And gamification, that's the umbrella. So make sure you know the difference. There's still debate in the research community when it comes to game-based learning. Carl Kapp, in particular, out of UCF, does not agree with me, but that's okay. All right, what's really important, however, is this. I know, right? It's okay. Is this. For me, this is what makes things work. You want to understand the game mechanics, the things that make a game a game. When you are playing Angry Birds, what is it about that that makes it a game? Don't tell me now. But you also want to know what makes you actually want to play the game. So we need to understand two things, the motivational theories broken down into two parts, and then the game mechanics as well. So let's talk about motivation. Two silos of motivation. You guys are educators. This is going to come naturally to you. We have extrinsic motivation, intrinsic. Extrinsic, we like to call that fiero. It's Italian for pride. It's that moment of, yes, I just won. That feeling right there, right? Come on, y'all. Angry Birds, when you finally get all, yeah, right? You get to play Angry Birds. That's that feeling right there. Are you still, once you win something, are you still feeling that feeling? Not really. It's kind of like, it's a nice moment of yes, and then you're not still screaming yes like an hour later. That's it. That's extrinsic. It is done. You have a reward or punishment if you're into B.F. Skinner, but you have a reward and that's it. Here's the key though. This is intrinsic. That's what they call flow. There's a whole book by this guy, and I will not pronounce his name for the life of me. I don't care if I'm defending my dissertation. I can't say it. It's very long. Can you say it out loud? This is why I can't say it. Right. But he wrote a book about flow, and it's that thing that makes you do it even if it hurts. Right? What's going to make you play a game for 4 hours, even if you're killing like 50 rats? What's going to push you through? What is going to make you do that grind? That's that intrinsic motivation. With students, if you want an analogy, extrinsic would be grades. I want an A now. Give me that moment of pleasure, right? I want that right there. Intrinsic is, I don't care if I get an A or a B. I think this is interesting. Okay? So let's break this down. You need a little visual learning. Here you go. Extrinsic, heads and hands up. Woo! Intrinsic, he's like drooling out the side. He's focused, right? Heads and hands down. Let's tie this into game mechanics. So now you know what you can use in your classroom that's game-like that will actually bring on these different types of motivation. So again, it makes the game a game, it makes it work, and it either makes it extrinsic or intrinsic. It's either one or the other. All right, we're gonna skip that and go there. All right, extrinsic. Progress, points. My argument for grades is stop using percentages, make it points. When a student walks into your room, say, congratulations, you have a 0. You do, you have 0 points. It's just like a game. What if you say, if you want an A in the class, you have to make 9,000 points. That's a 90. That's easy. If it's a B, it's 8,000 points. That's easy too. You just have to add on from there. They level up. It's that sense of moving up, right? Completion as well. That sense of completion and continuing on, you get 5 points for that, you're done, congrats. That's a great feeling of finishing something. When you finish a lesson plan, when you finish a department meeting, when you walk out of Ed Camp Rome, you're going to have a, that was great, right? It's that nice feeling of refreshment. Socially, we can break this down into leaderboards, and I understand that's a little controversial because we're going to get into self-esteem. There's easy ways to support leaderboards when you bring in avatars or groups. You make them have a group identity of some sort. Harry Potter has a reason. They have Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, etc., so forth. That's a safe way to do a leaderboard in a group of kids without one kid feeling like, well, I'm stupid because I'm the bottom, right? So that's a way to get around that. Also, any kind of recognitions, even just saying, hey, you have done a great job today, +1, right? Craig, in our meetings with Ed Camp Rome, we literally +1 each other.
One for you for that.
Thank you so much. Right? And then Terry and I had a competition about it. It's just for fun. And there isn't actually anything associated to it, but that's what recognition can do. That's a game piece. That is game. A star, little stickers, pieces of candy, all of those are parts of a game. You just don't know it. But it's extrinsic. It's that moment of awesomeness. And finally, growth via achievement. Is Greg in the room? He's about to get really happy with me shortly. Via achievement, these are the levels and badges. Badges is a bad word. Okay? Leveling up is great. Badges, if you don't tie it to something that is meaningful to the student, it means crap. It's nothing. Right? Just like right now, if I said, hey, congratulations, you have a badge from Ed Camp Rome, what are you going to do with it? What's it going to mean on your CV? I'm so sorry. It's true. Unless it's tied into a PLU. Do you want to know why we really wanted PLUs? So you could take something away and you got that badge in a couple hours. That right there is a game. That's a game aspect. Let's switch it from extrinsic, from the moment of yes to, oh, this is really good. I'm going to keep on going. Intrinsic, broken down again into 3 silos. Progress, now instead of points and completions, it's goal making. And not you saying you have to get there. They make the goals themselves. But you can't judge the goal. If they're like, I'm just going to make 10 points by Friday, say, good for you. You're going to get 10 points by Friday. But if they're like, I'm going to get 1,000 points by Friday and finish this and this, good for them. They can use Google Tasks, right? Stay on top of it if they want to. Interest and knowledge, student relevancy. Make them love it. Tie it into something they love. If they are obsessed with the Big Bang Theory, why are you not using that in your classroom to force that intrinsic motivation to come out? You can give them all the extrinsic you want, but they're not going to care when they actually leave your class. Intrinsic is what makes it continue on past your class. 24/7 learning beyond everything else that you're doing. Socially, instead of I'm better than you, ha 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 ha, now you actually have people saying, we are Hakuna Matata. We work together, right? Now I'm going to sing that song, that Shyamalan and Ding Dong song, right? Moving on. Okay, so cooperation and collaboration. Cooperation between people, collaboration with people. This is when you get guilds. One of my big fascinations with games is a guild. I am actually, okay, y'all, I can't believe I'm saying this out loud. I'm in a guild of teachers in World of Warcraft. I have level 90, woohoo! I'm a big gamer. But there's a guild of teachers on the Horde side, because, go Horde. And we research and we play and we try to find things like this. But we support each other and we grow together. And it actually has pushed me to the point where I'm doing a freaking dissertation because of these people in a guild. Why can that not happen in my classroom? Or my teachers right now. I work with 700 faculty. I literally am building guilds right now because of that. Finally, growth via failure. This is a shout out for Greg. Instead of achievement, I win. Now it's like, oh crap, I lost. You know what? I can start again. In games, if you die, what happens? You start again. Wouldn't that be nice if we can incorporate that? Who does formative assessment in this room? Little tiny short assessments. When your students don't do well, do you let them try again? Perfect. Guess what that is? Bam, it's a game. You have gamified your class without realizing it. All these things come from games. It's just, you just don't know it. And also feedback is very key, and the cyclical nature of things. If I die, I know I'm going to be able to restart. Die, restart. Hey, guess what? I have a quest line. Quest 1, 2, 3, 4. If I get to there, I get 5,000 points. Guess what? Quest 5, 6, 7, 8. They look the same. I get 4,000 more points. It's a repetition. You know what to expect. You take the mystery away. Students hate it when they don't know. I hate the question, what are we doing today? My goal when I taught was when they came into my classroom, I didn't want them to say that. They knew what we were going to do today. And that is coming from a game. Isn't this crazy? How many of you are now gamifying your classes? You just don't know it, right? So let's actually look at some of the genres because I have time, right? Yes, man, go fast. Good. I'm breaking it down. And again, whatever I don't get to, you have the slide deck. Please use it. Don't abuse it, but use it, right? Serious games, because I want to show you it exists. The one that I don't do at all is commercial. It's COTS, commercial off the shelf. I just had a professor walk up to me and say, I want to use a game in my class. I said, fantastic. What do you want to use? Oh, I want to use Assassin's Creed. I'm thinking, seriously, you want to use Assassin's Creed? You know what that is. Don't use that in class. It's a little violent. Okay? But yeah, that's literally using Xbox or Wii or PlayStation in the classroom. Also, any kind of game that is computer-based counts. This exists. People do it. I give links throughout this presentation to this. Civilization is great. This is the one game I think that every history teacher should try to play, especially in high school. It works on economics. You build in history. It's fantastic the things you can do with Civilization on your computer. And then Age of Empires is another one that gets mentioned. Again, if you're writing this down, you have the link to this presentation. Spore, I actually have literal examples from Spore. This is for you biology or science teachers in the room. Spore is a game that is based off the computer that you can use for biology. And literally, a school in Scotland used Guitar Hero. And that's the case study that I don't know if I would. I taught music for a little while. I probably would not use Guitar Hero, but still, whatever floats your boat, give it a shot. Okay? But this is commercial off the shelf. This is the hard stuff to do because, one, if you're not used to it, if you don't play it, it's hard. You need to understand it first yourself if you're going to give it to your students. And two, money, right? It's going to cost money. I like free stuff. This is also costing money, unfortunately. World of Warcraft, once you get to level 20, it starts costing you stuff. But this exists. Two of my idols. This is actually how I got into game-based learning because these two. Lucas Gillespie, by the way, is in Charlotte Mecklenburg schools. So he's here in the South. Peggy Sheehy's in New York. They decided there was a group of kids who were struggling. They dealt with a high transient population of youth. And they were struggling in language arts. And they're like, what can we do to bring them back in? So they discovered that half of them played World of Warcraft. They developed a curriculum that modeled The Hobbit. So they had, World of Warcraft is very much quest-based. So they used The Hobbit in conjunction with World of Warcraft. So while the kids developed their own character and they progressed through quests and grew as a character, they matched it up to the progression of Bilbo Baggins and The Hobbit. And they found the difference was phenomenal, that the kids felt engaged. They were able to write fan fiction about their own character. They were able to tie in economics. There's an auction house. You can actually do math in World of Warcraft. Where's my math person? Is she in the room? No, she told me earlier she's big on math. So, but EduRealms is also another thing because Lucas Gillespie's starting to talk about Clash of Clans. There's a bunch of different MMORPGs. But again, you're thinking, I can't do that. This doesn't apply to me. So let's talk about something you can literally do Monday. Gamification is the use of game-like elements in a non-game environment. This is not a game, but yet it kind of is. This dude is incredible. He's a professor since from 2007 has gamified his syllabus of all things. So what he's actually done, and this is an extreme example because this is actually from a class where he taught games, but he did this when he did not teach games. But if you like my idea of points, that wasn't me. That was Lee. Here's how you can do it. You can steal this tomorrow. Flip your grade book. Make it points. 0, level 1 is F. And notice you can level up, right? So if your student's having a bad day and they make a 10 out of 15, that's okay. Next time you take an assessment, make sure you get a 15 out of 15. As long as you reach the point where that student feels like they deserve to be, guess what? That's goal making. You're bringing in extrinsic points values and putting it into intrinsic goal making. So you say, where do you think you deserve to be? Plan out what you need, and they can get there. But that will make it, see, it's so much easier to start from 0 than 100. It just seems to make more sense to me. But then he went a little crazy, and I would not recommend this for anybody else. Like, he starts talking about, like, raid leaders and guild leaders, and gets really intense. So I don't use that usually. This is my go-to. And I did this my entire last year teaching in K-12. I taught Spanish AP, Spanish 1, and Spanish 3. I did it all, and it was fantastic. I had a lot of fun. It was actually easier for me to keep track and explain to parents of all things. Did not even think that would happen. All right, so back to this. Wendy Dustman actually is a biology teacher right now at Georgia Gwinnett College. This is her low tech. She had no technology really. She had what she called a mulligan, a do-over. So whenever students did something good, this is the rewards, right? Remember I told you, like, good job, recognition? She actually gave them a printed out piece of paper that had like a microscope on it, okay? And then when it came to big test time, and she had 5 or 6 of them, there's a certain section on the test that they could actually turn in the mulligan, say, I don't know this, I don't know the answer to this question. I want to take a mulligan. And the kids loved it. And they would be competing to try to see who could get the most mulligans. They had a limit of 10 and they had to use them. They had a time expiration. She just had to basically make a spreadsheet and kind of keep track of it. But for her, this was fantastic for the kids to be able to skip questions. And she did allow us to use, there's an example for stickers, for mulligan stickers right there. So everybody has this link. I'm not going to open it right now. All right, and then that's some of the data if you really care. Also, quest-based learning, I'm going to fly through this one. It's a little harder. It takes a lot of forework. This is what I did with my Spanish AP and Spanish 4 2 years ago, is I just assigned quests, and I let them go. It was all self-paced. Tons of work up front, y'all. Oh, my gosh, the work up front. But then I got to sit back and watch them progress. So I could grade. This is how I graded without taking anything home. As I did all the front-loaded work, and I let them progress, and I would be able to grade, walking around and watching them. I did not do this, what I'm doing right now. I was behind them, and they were working together and completing stuff at their own pace, at their own level of learning. I'm gonna skip that, skip it, skip it. Game design, I'm gonna skip it too because there's the links. You can make game, they can design a game. Those are all, Kodu is free, that's Microsoft. Sorry. Game Star Mechanic and Game Salad are also there. Those are not necessarily free and one is mobile based, so check them out. I don't do much with game design. But teaching is learning twice. You have them design a game, then present it to somebody else and let them play it. Sandbox games because Minecraft. Who's heard of it? This is it. It's kind of a cross between a virtual world and a game. Virtual worlds are not games, but you can put games in virtual worlds. Minecraft is one of those that you could use, and I just found something earlier, and I have to tweet it out. Actually, Craig, I think I sent the link to you. If he's outside the door, he probably isn't. There's some things that are really cool that you're able to do in Minecraft when it comes to robotics building and setting up your own kind of stuff, but I'll find it later. But you're able to get the kids in here and doing things. We actually had, my last semester at Mount Vernon, we did some design thinking, and we had the freshmen tackle the problem of GMOs, whether they were good or bad. And they had to present it to the community in some way to explain what GMOs do and their point of view. I had a group of 4 boys and 1 girl design their own world within Minecraft where they could walk up to a farm, pick a seed, and then either the seed was genetically modified or non-genetically modified, plant it in Minecraft and watch it grow. And they could see the differences. I know, right? These are freshmen. And I'm thinking, I don't know how to do that. That's really cool. So there are things you can do with Minecraft. And these things don't go away. These are text-based games. So those of you who are thinking, I really just don't want to do anything technology-based, write it out and role play. So we're about to get to role playing as well. Have you guys heard of, oh, I'm going to get there. Let me fast forward real quick. Where is it? 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 Okay, it's not up there. The role-playing game I like to talk about is reacting to the past. It's huge in higher ed, and I don't know why it's not feeding down into K-12. It's brilliant. They literally, for 3 to 4 weeks, take on the role of somebody in a historical perspective or an economic or a governmental perspective. This is great for the humanities. You have them, you set up the scenario, and they literally have to take on that person. So when they walk into your classroom, they are that person. I know, it's amazing. So it's called Reacting to, I don't have a link. Let me bring it up. Reacting to the past is fantastic. And they have curriculum. So these kind of things, as an aside, I am still flabbergasted at the gap between K-12 and higher ed and why the teachers are not talking to each other. You're doing the same thing. I just don't understand. Okay, Reacting to the Past was created at Barnard. There's actually a conference on this at UGA. It's drawing hundreds of people this summer. So I highly recommend checking them out. But they have different things you could use that you could easily translate, maybe using the Hemingway app, down for younger kids. But it's essentially role-playing in the classroom. Why are we not role-playing more, especially for the little kids? It puts them in the context, right? It makes it more important to them. It gives them meaning. It gives them interest and knowledge, intrinsic motivation. So it's reacting to the past. And I'll put that up on the link later. I'll skip board games for the time being because you have that. We'll get to mobile games later. Epistemic games, just so you know what they are. Fold It was a game that was created by scientists. They took 13 years of trying to figure out this genome, essentially, this enzyme. They couldn't figure out how it worked within AIDS. They created a game that just essentially manipulated different types of enzymes and genomes. Literally, within, what was it, 3 weeks, the people who played the game solved the problem that science could not take 13 years. If you click on the link, it gives you the actual article. And Fold It is still a game you can play now on your phone. So that's an example of an epistemic game. It's for human betterment. Anybody do Nike Fitness or you have a Fitbit? Guess what you're playing? An epistemic game. Right? If you're competing against somebody, if your friends are keeping track of you, you're like, good job, or hey, you suck, right? Whatever. That's an epistemic game. Dr. Jane McGonigal wrote a book called Reality is Broken. It's all about games. And she actually writes about epistemic games. These are real ones you can use. By the way, free, right? They're all free. Evoke deals with society crashing due to health issues. Electricity is exactly what you think it is. Dealing with electricity issues. Planet Hunters is literally a game where people can go find dwarf planets. It's real. You can actually find things. It's incredible the things you can do with that. So that exists. Now we're getting funky. I don't even know if I want to go here with y'all because now it gets hard. Let me just give an overview. Augmented reality. I think Katrina talked about augmented reality. You can make that a game using location. And I'll talk about location. Alternate reality games, I'm going to let y'all explore that on purpose. And here's why. I'm giving you the breadcrumb. You're thinking, oh, that sounds interesting. I'm going to go look. So now you're going to go click on the link because I'm going to give you a couple links. And you're like, oh, that's fascinating. Let me go to the next link. Oh, wow, that's really interesting. Go to the next link. Those are breadcrumbs that lead you down to a rabbit hole. And suddenly you're just sucked into the game and you really don't know that you are. That's the beautiful thing about alternate reality games. It becomes not like a game. It becomes real life. Incorporating that into your classroom is so hard. So hard. It takes a lot of planning ahead of time. But someone at Georgia Gwinnett actually did it. It's called the Solomon Project. And she's insane. Her last name is Wonder, for the record. She taught literature, and she made a choose your own adventure story that had transmedia. So it had a USB stick, it had paper, it had YouTube videos that they only received once they turned in assignments. They couldn't get next clue until they turned something in. It had to be turned in correctly to get the clue. So explore this when you have time because it's really intense. But if you want examples of alternate reality games that maybe you accidentally have played, granted, none of you probably don't listen to the same music I listen to, but I'm a huge fan of. And they had a whole alternate reality game called Year Zero. And the Great History Conundrum is an actual historical alternate reality game. They give you a PDF. Follow the links in the PDF and see where it leads you. All right, and then finally, location-based, because you can do this with QR codes. QR codes are awesome for location-based games. Because I can't get my clue unless I'm standing over there. I have to go scan the QR code. It's going to say, you have to go here and figure out this question that, como se llama, blank. And I have to figure out, oh, that means, school building. Oh, I have to go to school and find the QR code. That's how that works, right? And that builds in that excitement of, I found the code, and, oh, I want the next one. I want the next one. I want the next one. So that's extrinsic versus intrinsic again. Y'all, are you okay right now? Okay. And I have examples for you again. I love examples to give y'all. This right here is one from Phys Ed, and this is actually, again, that Wendy Dustman from Georgia Gwinnett College. She did it with the library. She worked with her who's the media people here? She worked with the library and said, I want to put QR codes all over the place. They said, sure. And her clues dealt with biology. And this, in particular, this is a microbiology class. And the kids actually have to understand and do the reading, their homework, to go find the clues, to find the next QR code for the next question. And in doing that, they were able to actually explore things like the decimal system. Like they had to understand things that you wouldn't necessarily understand now, exploring the library. So they got to the library at the same time as they were working on content in class. That's QR codes. And of course, Katrina already talked about Erasmus Bait. You can probably click on that link and understand more about that. I'm going to stop there, I think, because I think your brains are I have 1 minute. If you really want to play a fun game, Ingress. I'm going to leave you with that on purpose. Go have fun. It's by Google, by the way. Google. All right, guys, that's a lot really fast. Did you ever get the link at the beginning? No. All right, I'm going to go back. Yeah. That's like years of research. Yes, I think I just won, y'all. I feel really good right now. That's my extrinsic moment. Hi. Sisters of a Loom. No, you do not. Fantastic. The guild is called Inevitable Betrayal. That's the court side. They have an alliance version, Cognitive Dissonance. Yeah. Is it right for you?
Yes.
Okay, yes, all right.
I have to leave, but thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, now you get to see all the kind of fun things I did. I will be there on May 9th. I will be there.
Good. Can't wait to see you.
All right. Go be safe, please. Sure.
This was wonderful.
Thank you.
Yes, I always look for those players because
I know, and especially for women. There's actually, it's mostly women in the guild. Oh, yeah.
and I would not like not at channels. I actually saw some concerts.
I am a huge fan of Trevor. I think that he is like, all right, so Ford. And Inevitable Betrayal does more things than Cognitive Dissonance. Cognitive Dissonance is linked to Peggy Sheehy and her students. So Inevitable, it's a great name, right? And then Alliance. But come join.
I will.
It's me again with Craig and the Athens folks. We're talking pop culture in the classroom. We're gonna laugh a lot. Pop culture, memes, viral videos, all those kind of fun things.
And that's in this room?
Yeah.
Probably, I was going to say that.
All right.
Thank you.
Inevitable Betrayal is huge. They're very active on. Actually, they just had Lee Sheldon speak to them 2 days ago on. They have Google Plus community.
Okay.
Join.
I will.
Love to meet you. All right, we're assuming the Athens folks remember.
I think so.
Okay, thank you.
I don't think I ever got into that. I don't think I ever.
Oh, I am. Thank you. Look at that.